let's talk about Joe versus Senchou, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if Joe is going to pick out the Akuma or will it be the Luke? He has a pretty intimidating task against Senchou's Akira or Karen.
Either or. I'm really curious to see because I know Joe's had a lot of practice against the Karen pick. I'm not sure how much practice he has had against the Akira pick, and I am curious to see that match because we don't see much Akuma these seasons. Like it's Stag Rapper, Joe, and a few other Akumas that are kind of lingering around. A lot of people have dropped the character, but again, the familiarity is such a strong thing in fighting. It's not just about picking the strongest option at the time. You can work with that option, but let's say your CPT is coming up in a couple months. Do you stick with an option that you are embedded in, that you have been practicing for with years and years, or you pick an option that you can get ready within a couple, 3 months or whatever? Sometimes better to go with that one that you've had for a long time, even if it's a weaker pick with Akuma. And again, I think you should go with that option. I think Akuma still does fine in both those matchups, and that's what we're seeing right here for the last match of the day: Joe Umerogan versus Senchou.
This is a matchup that I'm actually kind of curious about. I want to know what Akira is going to do against the Fireball game against Akuma. I mean, you can't react and jump through it first and foremost. But I want to know what happens in the close to mid-range quarters. I want to see where the mediums lie for Joe Umerogan's character, because I've seen what Akira can do. Right now, Joe, he lets a lot of the medium kicks talk, but mostly he whip punishes with standing heavy punch as well, or even crouching, right? He does a little bit of a preemptiveness. And I like him utilizing that meter to do demon flip slide to just get that side switch.
Even if it's not on hit, you just get out of that corner situation, and it's just helping you prevent the problems that come through. But here's the activation. And the pick up a little bit with the V skill.
And I love the side switch. Oh, it actually hit. No. What happened?
I'm not sure why the pick didn't hit.
He was crouching too.
That must be wider. But Joe Umerogan finds the fireball.
Wow.
In the pickup.
That is a very unfortunate circumstance.
That could have been such a well.
Totally fine for Joe. Oh boy, no side switch, not possible except with the meter. You have to spend the meter. You can't do it off of V-skill anymore.
But Joe's probably spend that meter. I like that Joe's not predicated on just sending it for the super and saving it up. There's a lot more tools we have that EX Squad going and flowing. Use the Tatsu right after for some distance.
Man, those spin kicks are actually pretty brave. EX uppercut, even braver.
Side punish. Joe still firing back with the buttons and the fireballs. There's the activation.
Oh boy, that's going to be critical art, all because of the activation. Oh, he's not dead.
He fireballs a setup shot. Puts himself in the corner. I don't know if that's worth it, but the jump light gets him out of that situation. Joe Umerogan.
That was so smart.
That was very
That entire
smart.
sequence from Joe, he was just one touch away from getting that V-trigger. He's like, you know what? I'm going to force the agenda. I'm going to go ahead and use my V-skill 1. And I get that, right? You want to use... now I can kind of see where the benefits are from V-skill 1. Albeit it is very conditional.
Yeah, on activation.
Yeah, it's very specific, but, you know, I get it.
Yeah. I get that Joe Umerogan is on. Oh, no. Game point, but bad whiff. Big punish right here from Senchou to put him in the corner. I see more of those heavy kick DPs. It seems like they can come through against a fireball some of these ranges. Maybe it's not possible. We haven't seen Senchou do it.
No Oki after that. Now that's Senchou just going for the V-shift. He's still eating the air fireball, really? Force the block.
Joe back up against that medium kick. You use that as a whip punch against the heavy kick or the forward fears. Oof. Going to flip by. Then it's EX elbows, takes him to the corner. And that medium once again. Yeah, switching up. He used to go for the throw after that kick. And now he's switching it up. Senchou hit him with a flip mode, stable up that set point.
And I love that sequence from Senchou. Really, just you were talking about the mixes, the options he has on offense. It's pretty on point against Joe. Oh, this is going to be huge. Side switch.
Call it right, but the backdoor breakup is switching in the air fireball. Good call from Joe Umerogan.
It was actually a lot sharper this time around. Senchou tried to use something to get past the fireball, but it's just not the right angle. Umerogan actually is a throwaway for stun. Senchou knew it. Back to back. Air throw.
Good awareness from Senchou. Now for the activation. My turn to play off the shimmy. That's a stimmy one. That's a lot of red.
He tried to get a throw bait yet again. Plus frames. Leaving for the mix. He still has trigger after that. EX uppercut. Get out of here.
On his own EX.
Watch out for the overhead. The frames, what are you going to do about it?
This is the shimmy.
What a delay.
Wants to lock him down. The cross cut DP this time. Can't come through for free. Not the same sequence. We talked about forcing the agenda. Not going to happen here. I rule the narrative of the neutral right now, brother. Senchou with the cross-up.
That was very impressive. To have the audacity to even go over the cross-up
Yeah.
and the stability, I got to say. So there's two tales here, right?
Talk to me.
Joe with the audacity to go for the cross-up. He's like, yeah, I don't need this positioning right now. That's totally fine. But Senchou with the stability to still manage to get the execution. That was beautifully done.
We get a close game to close out the night. Game to game.
Not this time. No cross-cut this time. Oh, he caught him crouching. You do get the extender. You do get crouching jab after that. And then the roundhouse uppercut extends even further to continue the combo. Very exclusive to the state of the character.
Punish right here from Joe to get that V-bar built up. Or VC, I should say.
EX uppercut again. That could have been dead.
Falls to the fireballs. They're too strong. And the shimmy. The stun. Joe Umerogan again on set point.
I like that. I like that a lot from Joe Umerogan. Very aggressive, but Senchou, you know, a little bit more on the advantage for the meter at least. But Umerogan just walking it down against Senchou. Speaking of walking it down, past the fireballs.
I'll walk him in the corner. Space trap. Joe.
Air throw.
Trying to fire back with the EXDP on that wake up, bro. You would have been dead, but you were close to it. But Joe puts it back. Proving to be a pain point for Senchou, though.
And this is going to be pretty pivotal right now. Joe is just trying to utilize that dash, or at least catch Senchou slipping. You're actually dead. No. Okay.
It's Akuma.
You're hella
It's
dead.
Akuma.
You're hella dead. You're hella dead.
It's Akuma.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, Senchou could have gone into critical art, but he knows better than everybody here. That trigger, that V-skill, I should say, was going to be more than enough. You are a sneaky guy. That's like EX tackle. Why not bust out with it?
Exactly. Then you do
Oh,
the
you
crush.
get the skill after that. More fireballs. You do it again. Set up. Don't
That's
quit.
done.
Okay.
Oh, it's
called
damn near done. Oh my God, Senchou.
You should be dead. You should be
He's
dead.
gonna end it with a perfect KO, Senchou. Gucci with it. A 2-1 defeat to Joe Umerogan.
Dear
Senchou
God.
moving on the bracket. A clinic. A clinic.
My man beasted it out, but it's no slouch to Joe Umerogan, though. I mean, like, there was a very significant round ender for him in the first round of game number 3. Like, there was a lot that he's doing with his walk speed, trying to outmaneuver Senchou, but there's so much stability in Senchou's play. Active defense, understanding where his hits will be, and reading the opponent's defense. He was doing a great job, man. He baited a lot of what Umerogan wanted to do, but not for nothing. Again, very much so down to the wire.
I mean, it really was, and I really like that Joe Umerogan, first of all, was being aggressive with Akuma. I feel like you have to be that this season, but it is risky, and there's not always reward, and Senchou was stiffing those approaches up. We saw the cross cuts and things like that. It was a good shimmy situation right here, but it wasn't enough. Senchou was able to stay optimal, as we pointed out before, didn't spin the full bar, and that having that bar at the beginning of the round was the determiner to getting that perfect KO, the immediate EX elbow, putting Joe in the corner, making it feel unusual, and it's those moments that he was able to solidify and make Joe Umerogan break down. But again, not for nothing, I'm happy that Joe stuck with the Akuma. I think he would have done a lot better with this character than he would have with Luke 100%.
I agree. I mean, like, I'm very much so confident in the way that Joe plays Akuma. It still could have gone either way. That was just a very perfect sequence, no pun intended, for Senchou in terms of like how he utilized the meter, opening up Joe's defense. It could have gone either way. There just wasn't enough in that round for it to really tell that story. But Senchou, I mean, 2-1. That's the second set we've had throughout the entirety of the Midwest that has gone down to the wire, and very, very much so happy to see another Akira player kind of moving on up into the world of top 8 for the Midwest. Again, there's been a lot of Street Fighter action going down in the top 16, but we have already established our top 8.
You know what? I'd like to establish a duel. I'd like the duel at some point in the future.
You're killing me, man.
Coming sometime in the future.